They laughed at him. They called him ugly. They said he had nothing, no money, no class, no future. But what they didn't know was that he had something money couldn't buy. A dream.
You again? Didn't they tell you she's not around? Bro, respect yourself and go fix another phone, I beg. He came with love, but they saw only his lack.
Grace, a girl like you cannot marry a man like that. Look at him. What will people say?
One day, I'll come back. And when I do, you'll know what love really means.
They said he was too ugly, too broke, too unworthy. But destiny had another plan. Daniel was born in the kind of neighborhood where dreams often died before they even began. The roads were narrow, lined with rusted zinc roofs, and the night carried the sound of generators and struggle. His mother sold pap by the roadside. His father had been a mechanic before he passed away. Growing up, Daniel never had much, but what he lacked in money, he made up for in determination. He fixed broken radios, old phones, and even spoiled fans just to keep food on the table. But inside that quiet, worn-out boy was something few ever saw, a heart that believed in love, and a mind that refused to give up. He met Grace at a youth conference organized by a church in Victoria Island. She was everything he thought he'd never deserve, soft-spoken, intelligent, and full of light. When she smiled at him that first day, he forgot for a moment how small his world was. She didn't care that he came on a bike while others arrived in cars. They talked for hours about dreams, hers to start a non-profit, his to open a small tech shop that would train underprivileged kids. Slowly, love began to bloom. But love, in Daniel's world, didn't come easy. The first time he visited Grace's home, he wore his best shirt, clean but faded, and borrowed a wristwatch from his neighbor. The mansion he saw made him feel like an intruder in a world where he didn't belong. The gate opened with a slow, mechanical hum. The security guard looked him up and down and laughed. "Now you damn they expect. My guy, try next door. This one no fit be your level." But Daniel smiled politely. "Please, just tell her Daniel is here." When Grace's parents finally came out, her father looked at him as if he were something to be brushed off the doorstep. "Which one is this one again?" he asked coldly. Grace tried to speak, but her mother cut her off. "Grace, this is the person you said you're seeing. This mechanic." The silence was heavy. Daniel swallowed hard. "Sir, Ma, I truly love your daughter. I may not have much now, but I'll work hard to give her everything she deserves." Her father chuckled. "Love. Young man, love does not feed the stomach. You can't even feed yourself. Look at you. You can't marry my daughter." Her mother folded her arms. "Grace, go inside." "Mom, please." "I said inside." Grace hesitated, her eyes filling with tears. Then she turned, heartbroken, and walked back into the house. Daniel stood there for a moment, his pride crumbling in the hot evening sun. The security guard opened the gate again, motioning for him to leave. As he turned to go, Grace's father added one last stab to his heart. "Next time, look for someone in your class." That night, Daniel sat in his small workshop, surrounded by broken gadgets and silence. The only light came from a small rechargeable lamp. His mother's framed photo sat on a shelf, her face kind and calm. "Maybe they're right, Mama," he whispered. "Maybe love really isn't for people like me." But deep down, something in him refused to die. Every insult became fuel. Every rejection became motivation. He promised himself that night that he would never let another person define his worth again. Days turned into weeks, and though Grace tried to call, he ignored her messages. He didn't hate her, he just couldn't face her. She was trapped between love and loyalty to her parents, and he was trapped between poverty and pride. But the memory of that humiliation burned like fire in his soul. He told himself, one day, they'll know that money doesn't make a man. Character does. And from that moment, Daniel began to change his story, one day, one repair, one lesson at a time. The day Daniel walked away from Grace's mansion, something inside him snapped. But it wasn't the kind of break that destroys, it was the kind that rebuilds. He started waking up earlier than everyone else in the neighborhood. At 4:30 a.m., while others were still fighting sleep, Daniel was already outside, sweeping the small compound of his workshop, preparing his tools, and writing plans in an old notebook. On the cover of that notebook, written in neat blue pen, were 6 words. One day, I will be more. He saved every naira he could. When customers couldn't pay, he took old, damaged phones and repaired them to resell. He began studying free tech tutorials on YouTube, learning coding, software repair, and even small business management. People laughed at him. Some said he was wasting his time, that no one from his side of Lagos ever made it. But Daniel had already tasted humiliation once, and he promised himself never again. One night, after closing the shop, he noticed a boy, maybe 15, sitting outside in tears. The boy had just been sent away from a repair shop for asking too many questions. Daniel offered him bread and a drink. "Why do you want to learn repair?" Daniel asked. The boy sniffed. "I want to help my mother. She's sick. If I learn, maybe I can make money." Daniel smiled. "Then come tomorrow morning. I'll teach you." That one act changed everything. Word spread through the community that Daniel was teaching kids for free. At first, it was just 2 boys. Then 5. Then a dozen. He trained them with patience, charging only small fees when they could afford it. Soon, a local NGO noticed his work and offered him a small grant to expand his training center. He rented a better space, painted it bright blue, and called it Hands of Hope Tech Hub. From there, his rise was slow but steady. He got contracts from schools, then small companies. He built an app that helped users find affordable repair services across Lagos, and within a year, it went viral. Investors came. Journalists came. His story appeared online. From street mechanic to tech innovator, the man changing lives in Lagos. Daniel wore the same humility he had always carried, but inside, he was different. He was no longer trying to prove anything to anyone. He just wanted to make a difference. Yet, late at night, when the city lights flickered and silence filled his apartment, he still thought about Grace, her laughter, her soft voice, the pain in her eyes that day. He wondered if she ever thought of him too. 3 years later, fate answered that question. Daniel was invited to speak at a youth empowerment event sponsored by one of the top banks in Lagos. As he stepped onto the stage, wearing a tailored black suit and a quiet confidence, he saw her, sitting in the front row beside her father. Grace. She looked almost the same, but older somehow, like someone carrying invisible weight. Her eyes widened the moment she recognized him. Her father's face froze in shock. Daniel's voice trembled for just a second, but he regained control. He spoke not about revenge or regret, but about growth and purpose. "Your background doesn't define your future," he said. "Sometimes, rejection is just redirection. When they say you're not enough, prove them wrong with results, not resentment." When he finished, the crowd stood and applauded. Cameras flashed. Grace's eyes were wet. Her father couldn't clap. It was poetic justice, the moment every viewer waits for, the one that makes hearts swell and tears fall. After the event, Grace found him in the parking lot. "Daniel," she whispered. He turned slowly, the eyes meeting for the first time in years. "I've been following your story," she said softly. "I'm so proud of you." He smiled, but there was sadness behind it. "Thank you, Grace. I never stopped wishing you well." She hesitated. "I never stopped loving you." Silence hung in the air like suspended truth. Then he spoke, his voice gentle. "Some things belong to the past. But I'll always be grateful, because losing you taught me to find myself." Grace's tears fell freely. She nodded, understanding what his words really meant. That night, Daniel drove home through the quiet Lagos streets, headlights cutting through the mist. He wasn't bitter. He wasn't angry. He was free. It had been 4 years. For long years since Grace last saw him. 4 years since Daniel walked away with nothing but a promise, "I'll come back." "You're lucky, madam," said Grace's makeup artist. "So many girls they pray for man like Femi, rich, educated, fine boy." Grace forces a smile. "Yeah, lucky," she said quietly. She glances at her phone, scrolling through old photos, her and Daniel laughing under a mango tree, both dusty but happy. Her eyes well with tears. A sleek SUV pulls up in front of the compound. The gate man rushes out to open it. "Good afternoon, sir. You're here for the event?" said the gate man. "Something like that," Daniel said, smiling calmly. He steps out, clean navy suit, wristwatch glinting, beard well trimmed. The same Daniel, but different. Confident. Composed. A small crowd turns to stare. A few whisper.
Wait, isn't that the phone repair boy from down the street? Ha! It's a lie. See car wey in the drive now.
Grace's father stands at the door greeting guests. Voice is booming. "Welcome, welcome. We thank God for today. Our daughter is finally..." He freezes mid-sentence. His smile fades when Daniel appears behind the last row of guests.
You! What are you doing here?
I came to deliver something.
What's this?
My company's invitation with Face for our tech hub launch tomorrow. Your daughter's name was one of the first on the design team years ago. I thought she might like to see how far we've come.
Tech, hub, you mean you?
Yes, ma'am. The same dream you said would feed nobody.
Daniel, is this really you?
I told you I'd come back.
He looks at her engagement ring, expensive but lifeless, then at her face, full of regret. "I didn't come to ruin anything. I just came to say, thank you. Your rejection made me fight harder. Your silence made me stronger." He turns to leave. Grace watches, tears falling freely. Grace is choking up. "Daniel, wait. I'm sorry. I was scared. My parents..." Daniel, turning, "Come. You don't owe me an apology, Grace. You owe yourself the truth. Sometimes, the people who laugh at your pain are the ones who watch your rise in silence." Love isn't about status. It's not about beauty or money. It's about heart, and the courage to believe in someone before the world does. He was told he was too ugly and too broke to marry their daughter. But he became the man they could only dream of calling son-in-law. Sometimes, God delays love, not to deny you, but to prepare you. A year later, the boy who was called ugly and broke had become a name whispered with respect in boardrooms. His company trained hundreds of young people, the same ones society once ignored. He didn't need to prove anything anymore. Success had become his silence, and peace, his reply. A women's empowerment seminar is in progress. Grace stands on stage, microphone in hand, speaking to a crowd of young ladies. Grace's voice trembling. "Once upon a time, I chose pride over love. I was taught that wealth defines worth, but I learned that character defines destiny." Audience murmurs softly. Some nod in agreement. Grace continued. "If you ever meet someone who believes in your dreams when no one else does, don't let them go. Because sometimes, the person you reject while chasing the world is the same person God sent to change it." The audience claps. Tears shimmer in her eye. "Yes." Daniel stands quietly, unnoticed, arms folded, smiling faintly. When she finishes, the eyes meet briefly, calm, forgiving, complete. No words needed. He forgave her, not because she asked, but because holding on to pain would have kept him poor, even in shock. Daniel left the hall, sunlight on his face. A small boy runs up to him. "Uncle Daniel. My phone spoiled again." Daniel laughs, kneels to fix it. Don't worry, my guy. Let's fix it together. That's how learning starts. And that's how he chose to live, building others, one broken dream at a time. In a world obsessed with looks, class, and wealth, he proved that faith, consistency, and kindness are the greatest currencies. They told him he was too ugly and broke to marry their daughter. But God wrote a story too beautiful for their eyes to see. At the end,